light. God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. The speaker is God. The time is before time was. The word is omnipotence. The result is the grandest of gifts. Darkness heard and vanished. God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. Reader, strive to imagine the scene when this first voice called this first blessing into being. This world of full delights was then one huge mass of unarranged material. It had no form, and therefore it had no beauty. It was vacancy, and vacancy wants all that pleases. It would have been cheerless, even if robed in cheering light. But impenetrable night shrouded the lifeless void. From this rude quarry, however, the home of man is to be built. This waste is to be peopled with beings whose age is immortality. It is to be the field from which heaven's garner shall be stored. Therefore, deformity must assume form. Disorder must melt into order. Shapelessness must be shaped into loveliness. How shall this be done? God had but to will, and in one instant creation arises in full-blown perfection. But it is not so. He works by gradual process. He works. Let us hence learn the wisdom and the need of effort. He works by gradual process. This teaches that patient diligence is the path to all well-doing. But what is the first wonder which steps forth to usher in the train of harmony and grace? It is light. Do you ask what is the chamber of its birth, and what the art by which it is composed? The reply is, God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. To know more is impossible, and it is impossible just because more knowledge would neither tend to profit nor to good. There are, however, truths linked with light which are open to our earnest search. It is a casket rich in gospel jewels. In its fair form, we see the fairer features of the Lord of light. The Holy Spirit, no doubtful guide, proclaims, "That was the true light, which lighteth every man which cometh into the world." Jesus too exalts it as his emblem when he instructs, "I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life." The prophet too, gazing on the rays of Christ, sings, "The people that walked in darkness have seen a great light." The apostle, intent on Jesus, exhorts, "Show forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness into his marvelous light." We should close our eyes then on the high purposes of light if we failed to trace therein the transcendent beauties of salvation's dayspring. Light is pure. In it there neither is nor can be mixture or pollution. Its property repels defilement. It traverses unstained each medium of uncleanness. Snow is brilliant. No whiteness can surpass it, but man's step mars it. Water sparkles brightly from its spring. Man's hand can soil it, but none can make light's purity less pure. Such is Christ. When man on earth, he was pure as God in heaven. He passed through a world of sin as a sunbeam through the vilest hovel. He took indeed sin's form, that he might bear sin's due, but he never knew sin's stain. In Bethlehem's manger, he was the Holy Child. He returned to heaven in holy triumph as the Holy Conqueror. Reader, study much the essential holiness of Jesus. It is one of the anchors of our gospel hope. He must be holy as God is holy, or he cannot mediate with God for us. If but a shadow of a sinful shade be on him, atonement is needed for himself. Then he must save himself, and we are left unsaved. But Jesus is all sufficient to redeem us, because he is Jehovah's co-holy fellow. Study it too as the model of the newborn soul. Salvation is conformity to his image. He that hath this hope in him purifieth himself, even as he is pure. Light is bright. Indeed, what is brightness but light's clear shining? The day is bright when no clouds hide the sun. The prospect is bright, which reflects unnumbered rays. The hope is bright, which glitters free of foreboding gloom. Such is Christ. He is the brightness of his Father's glory. He embodies, as in one constellation, every divine perfection. He shines the midday splendor of Jehovah's attributes. That time is the brightest time in which the Lord is nearest. That page is the brightest page in which most of Christ is found. That sermon is the brightest sermon in which most of Christ is heard. That life is the brightest life in which most of Christ is seen. Light is lovely. Beauty cannot live without it. Exclude it, and every charm would hang a blighted head. The sun would fade and color be extinct. Such is Christ. It is a true record. Thou art fairer than the children of men, the chiefest among 10,000, and altogether lovely. What fullness of beauty is in that person who is God and man? What harmony of grace is in that work which joins God to man? What charms are in those precious scriptures which show his worth? To see his varied excellence is heaven begun. The sight makes earth a blank, and all its glories but a withered flower. Just too, as lovely light makes lovely, so Christ decks all on whom his beams descend. He beautifies the meek with salvation. Light is free. The wealth of the wealthy cannot purchase it. The skill of the skillful cannot frame it. The labors of the laborious cannot earn it. The poverty of the poor cannot debar from it. Wherever it comes, it flies on freedom's wings. It gilds the hall, unbribed by price. It illumines the hut, unbought by toil. Such is Christ. Sinner, do you crave this precious treasure? Open the casement of the heart, and it is yours.